All right, I'm taking a break from blasting, and I'm going to tell you pretty much how impressed I was with last Epoch Season 2 release and everything that I found in the game, and how it might be my new favorite ARPG. Come on, you piece of junk.
It's Hawg, baby.
How about it, y'all? You got Hawg. Thanks for stopping by. I've had an absolute blast just mowing through LE and blasting my way to infinity. I don't even know if that's a saying or not, but before I get into diving into everything, let's hear a quick word from this video sponsor. Thank you to boot.dev for sponsoring this video. I've been trying boot.dev in my free time for about a month now, and I'll tell y'all, if you are looking for a way to learn back-end development in Python, Golang, and SQL, this is the program for you. I thought that learning to code would, to be honest with you, be boring. But with boot.dev's hands-on projects, I find myself writing a lot of code, and to me, that's the smartest way to learn the code, is to actually write it and keep me engaging with the program and not be boring. Lately, I've been grinding on Chapter 2, learning variables and f-strings. I actually got stumped here, but the nice thing is there are solutions available for every challenge on the site. The achievements, quests, and bi-monthly community boss fights keep me logging back in for more. Go to boot.dev and try out the courses for free. Then use my code HOG to get 25% off your entire first year if you choose the annual plan. Big thanks to boot.dev for sponsoring this video, and now, back at it. So y'all, I think this might be the smoothest season launch of any ARPG I've ever been involved with. It was smooth as a sewing machine. Now, Spindle might have come off top the sewing machine a couple times. You know, there's some errors, and we had to do a little bit of brute forcing, restarting our Steam client a few times. And I know the European guys had some issues, but overall, in the grand scheme of things, it was actually pretty damn smooth. The game is really nice. It has offline mode, so the people that didn't want to wait around or have to deal with any of that, they could still play the game. You weren't locked out of the game because the servers were down or whatever the deal is. Now, the developers have already been on top of stuff. They've already been fixing things. 130 bugs have already been fixed. So people are complaining, saying the game's a little bit easy, but my counter to that is this is a traditional ARPGs where we've been used to something a little non-traditional in PoE 2. Now, granted, that's not, this is not going to be a shit on PoE 2 video, but for the people that like PoE 2 that all told us to go play a different game, I feel like this is the game we needed to go play, and I'm glad that we found it. It does feel like it should, in my opinion. It feels like traditionally, you start off kind of easy in the beginning, then you gain your power in the end, and you're able to pretty much do whatever you need to do. All of the builds, everything works. Like, you really can play your own way. Now, you might not be able to take that to, empowered monos or whatever, but you can pretty much do all of the basic content in the game with any kind of build that you want to do. Especially if you are an experienced ARPG player and know how to look at scaling tags and know how to actually build a build, you won't have any problem. You'll actually probably be super OP. If you like blasting and being a god, this is the kind of game. If you like loot that drops, this is the game. Speaking of loot, the loot filter is really nice, and you can get really in depth with it here. Get down to recoloring stuff, showing different things. This is not my filter. This is more like one of my filters right here, but you can do everything that you want to do with the loot filter. You don't have to go outside of the game to get loot filters or wait for a super brainy streamer to come up with something awesome for everybody. You can just do everything you need to do right there. Speaking of in-game, it's got a really good game guide. So you don't, I know it's kind of cut off here. Tote it over here. Got a really nice game guide here for y'all. Anything you need to know about is in the game guide with a search bar, search feature. The game is just quality of life heavy. It's a really nice features that it has. The stash tabs are amazing. Let me show you those. This blew me away. All of the stash tabs are purchasable by gold that you pick up in the game. So you don't actually have to use real money. You can have up to 200 of these. They're fully editable, customizable. The affinities that you can set for them, are awesome. They auto sort, put stuff away, auto sorts it for you. Speaking of sort, you've got a sort button in your inventory. There's just endless possibilities with the builds and all too. Like this is my Void Knight, so I'm spin to win. I apply Time Rod on everything, which is a dot, and then I've got another sword that procs smite on hit, 50%, 40% chance. Then I've got a belt on that every time I critically hit something, it drops a meteor. Like it's just a fun game, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It all boils down to fun. Now, is it going to be, if you're a PoE2 player and you like the slow combat and you like, the challenge of trying to find gear and like whatever all that comes with, this might not be for you. You might enjoy, taking all that time. Whatever the deal is in PoE2, you might enjoy that better. I personally enjoyed this a lot more than PoE2 because maybe it's just the play style, but I like trying different characters. The campaign is pretty fast. Some of the bigger streamers, faster streamers, LE streamers, ARPG streamers can do it in an hour, and I think Rax can do it in like less than an hour and a half, like an hour or something crazy. Myself, I can level a whole character up in just about a whole day, which is awesome for me. It's not Diablo 4 style, but it's not like I'm sitting here the whole time trying to get through the campaign, and then when I'm done, it's not like, man, I really wanted to try something else, but then I got to do that campaign again. Like, it's not like that. Once you feel powerful enough, you can just go straight to the end game, start running monoliths. They added a bunch of the cool stuff to the end game. You got the Haven of Silk here now, which is basically the map dealer. You can get all I call them maps because, PoE. But come on, Hawg, tighten up. Woven Echoes, and there's all kind of different woven echoes. I really like, there's one, I forget the name of it, excuse me, but there's one that you can run. It's like Soul Harvest or something. You can run, it's timed, you kill as many things as you can, you build up soul currency, and at the end there's a vendor you get to go, and the first thing you buy from him is a unique, and he gives you that, it could be a belt, it could be whatever you buy from him is unique. So if you're chasing an item, you can just do that, and hopefully you'll find that item. Speaking of items, there is some trading, that's cool. I don't know much about it because, again, I've been coming from PoE, and that's pretty much, you're going to be trading a lot. I know, of course, view the comments of the Soul Stuff Found Hall, we play la. I get it, but PoE2 especially, you're going to be trading to find powerful gear. So here I wanted to try COF, Circle of Fortune, try something a little different. So we went to Circle of Fortune. What I find is really cool about this is the ability to super target farm what you're looking for. So if I'm looking for, like at one point I was really only looking for the set sword for the Time Rot set. So you come in here, you go to your lens, and your telescope, I've got different lenses here, and I was able to sit here and just re-roll until it popped up a set, so like this one, unique one-handed sword. Well, if I wanted to farm some of this because it didn't have exactly what I wanted, or I wanted to try to find one that had Weaver's Will or whatever, I could just click that one. Now it's added to my prophecies, so when I actually meet the condition of this bad boy, like Deaths of a Champion, then it drops a unique two-handed spear or whatever the reward is that's associated with that. That's really kick-ass. This system was badass to me. If you're not trying Circle of Fortune, I highly recommend you try it out, because after a while of just grinding base maps over and over in any game, it gets boring. But if you have objectives that you're trying to hit, if you have goals that you're trying to meet, and you have things to overcome challenges, that really helps out. And that was something that I felt this game did really well. I'm still not bored with the end game. I've finally gotten to empowered monos. I still have to beat all the harbingers, and continue to run the Weavers, the maps, the Woven Echoes. So there's still plenty for me to do. I started doing minions. I know I'm not a minion guy, but the game has just been shitting minion stuff all over me since the start of the season. So we finally started a kind of a campaign. I call it the, it's like supervisor build campaign, companions. Jesus, I'll get it together. I've got mush ARPG brain. We've been doing nothing but fish and play last Epoch since the season starts. So please excuse my brain just being more crazy than normal. But anyway, the game's fun as shit. I have yet to have a meltdown about the game, which is very rare for me. Usually I find something to bitch about. The only complaint that not even complaint, but the only thing that I wish would have in the game is a cursor size where you could adjust that. And I know there's YOLO mouse, and I know there's other ways around it. You can adjust the cursor size of windows, la, 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 la. That's just one thing I'd like to see, but it's probably the only thing that I've found personally that I don't like, or I wish they could, not that I don't like, but I wish that they could enhance about the game. That's saying a lot. Now, granted, we would like to see hideouts. We would like to see guilds. You know, we would like to see all that stuff come later, but it's not anything that's messing up my game as of right now. These are some of the woven echoes that you can do here. Slay enemies to collect as many soul embers as you can before the time runs out, and then spend soul embers at Soul Gambler. This is the one I really like here. But it's just cool. It added a layer upon, you know, the base map system, monolith system that they had. Now it's added another layer that gives you some choice. And the nice thing is you are able to actually buy these. It's not just pure RNG. And again, on top of this, they just, you know, kind of went into from PoE's playbook and added the Weaver tree, which is basically an Atlas tree. Allows you to customize your end game a lot more. So, you know, if you want loot lizards or if you want more tombs or whatever you want, you can customize that. If you want more armor to drop or more weapons to drop or whatever, you have the ability to do that. This was a badass addition as well. And what's really cool is all of these things we see here, they all go core. All this stuff is staying. So this is not just a seasonal thing that, you know, we're only going to see one time and then it's gone. Like, this is here to stay. The other really cool thing is they're already working on season 3, or I guess maybe it's almost done already. So we will have reoccurring seasons. It won't be like it was where, you know, it's 9 months and we had more content. We're supposed to be getting on a seasonal track, which is really cool. I just really appreciated everything about this launch here. It was really smooth. I've had an absolute blast. I'm trying to think of anything negative. There has been some DCs, just to be fair, so I don't look like a shill. There have been some DCs. There have been some issues. The developers have been pretty active on trying to fix those. There has been a snapshot and exploit with minions. So they're aware of it and are working to correct this action or correct that or whatever. But what they have said is they're not going to ban players for engaging with that snapshot because it's not the player's fault. It's their fault, which I thought was very cool. Because, you know, other companies have banned players for taking advantage of something that the company forgot to kind of take care of, or maybe that worked as it wasn't supposed to work and really wasn't an exploit, but was kind of a gray area. So it's cool that the players are not being punished by this. Overall, just absolutely great job. I just wanted to fill y'all in. I mean, you know, who cares? I know not everybody's having a great time, but the player numbers, the retention numbers were actually really good. It was almost 50% of the player base return, which for an ARPG is, you know, that's really, really, really good. We had some great streams. Thanks to everybody that came by the streams and got your supporter packs. And we absolutely had probably one of the most successful ARPG season stream launches that we've ever had. So I appreciate everybody for coming by. That was kick ass. Anyway, it's enough rambling. See y'all next time. Hit like and subscribe. Come by Twitch. We're doing fishing in the morning. We're running some monoliths on the boat. And we're doing gaming stuff at night. Also, the Bornless playtest. I'm a Bornless partner. It's not an ARPG, but it is a super fun kind of extraction shooter hybrid that is in development. So if you want to come by on Saturday and check that out, come by on Saturday. Anyway, we'll see y'all next time. Appreciate y'all.